Alright guys, today I witnessed a stock, ticker symbol GNS, Genius Group Limited, run over 280% and get halted multiple times. Now, why did the momentum keep going and why does it stop on AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, and GameStop, right? Well, there's no options chain on Genius Group. But what essentially is triggering all this to happen? Genius Group stock soars 120% on naked shorting investigation. Genius Group has formed an illegal trading task force to investigate market manipulation. Now, why would it run 290% if short sellers are innocent, right? Doesn't this just further prove the case that GNS is accurate, their information is accurate, and there is illegal market manipulation and spoofing tactics going on behind the scenes in their stock? The group will be led by former FBI Deputy Director and Genius Director Timothy Murphy, Genius Director Richard Berman, and CEO Roger Hamilton. GNS stock is up more than 200% year to date is what this article claims. However, it is up over 200% day to date, right? It's not year to date. They just wanted to word it differently, and they also worded it as 120% on naked shorting investigation to seem like it wasn't something that big, even though it was. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, so stay till the end of the video so you guys don't have to watch another video here on YouTube. We will update you on everything that there is to update you on. Also, shout out to JIG in Discord. He called out GNS at 8 a.m., an hour and a half before market open. So if you guys aren't in Discord, what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? Let's get right into the video. Following this up, Genius Group said it had obtained proof that certain individuals and companies appear to have sold but not delivered their stock, which is something that we saw across the board with AMC, and we saw Citadel do to AMC and multiple stocks as well. There's literally jets flying above my house. Hopefully you guys don't hear that in the background of the video, but let's move on. Dave Lowry even came out and said no big deal, just 3x the free float trading in GNS in the first 45 minutes of the day. The stock up 75%. That's probably totally normal price discovery, right? I suppose this is what happens when a company stands up to do the right thing, but you've got market makers who can create infinite liquidity. 60 million shares now traded on a 10 billion share float. Now, yeah, GNS ran 280%, but it probably would have ran a lot further if they weren't spoofing the price, right? And the only reason it actually ran 280% and couldn't be stumped as much as it was, even though it was stumped very much, is because there's no options chain on GNS. Market makers couldn't really drastically pull the price down and keep this thing down as much as they wanted to. With that being said, GNS could literally be the first stone to knock down short sellers if this stock stays up over 200% over the next couple of days. Because if you don't remember, in my Fidelity video yesterday when I called them, it wasn't even about this, but you know, they said there's a 3-day period. If someone gets margin called and they're still, you know, not meeting the requirements after that 3-day closeout period, it's a closeout period, right? That's it. Moving on further, Ortex numbers are 5.38% short interest on APE with a cost to borrow around 8% and utilization at 83%. Touching on AMC, the cost to borrow jumped back from 90% all the way up to 270 from yesterday to today. So these short sellers are still paying about an average of 3 times their position, which you would only do if you are legitimately trapped in a play. Short interest 22.04%, utilization still maxed out on AMC. As for the chart side of things, I copy and pasted Ethereum's classics bars pattern and then kind of drew out a little scenario that could play out for you guys if market makers and hedge funds decide to get away with stumping the momentum throughout this week. Now, of course, you have scenario 1, which is still in play. Tomorrow and Monday, you could see a huge run on AMC, the run that we've all been waiting for, but you can't see this baby volume. You need a lot more volume to kick in on AMC. Now, with that being said, if that doesn't occur, this is something that is going to play out over the next few months, right? Throughout 2023, you have this level up here at $7.50. Assuming we get a retracement back down to $4.95, $7.50, and then $12.75 before a major move higher with AMC. However, in general, I do think AMC already bottomed out. I do think this was the bottom here around $3.75. So I don't think AMC is going to go lower. Will it rip and will it fly over the next couple of days is something that we want to pay attention to. We want to watch the volume and we want to see if other dominoes will fall because short sellers are being liquidated across the board. As for GameStop, it's trading exactly how we thought it was going to trade. A retracement back down to $17 essentially over the next week or so before getting that next rip. Finally, the S&P 500 took that big dive that we were waiting for, and now it's just a waiting game for the SPY to find lower lows through the overall market. Every time the S&P 500 hit this trend line, trailing all the way back up to the beginning of 2022, right before it peaked in December of 2021, it got smacked every single time, right? It's pretty much just like, yo, you don't have the strength to jump in a bull market. You're not there yet. The economy is bad. You're going to get smacked every time you try to rally. And this is exactly what you're seeing happen, right? Even the Fed came out and said bull rallies are going to prolong further pain, right? So now I'm watching 383 down here at 364, and then finally just 352, the market's low, and scanning for new lows. I'm essentially just expecting the S&P 500 to fall over the next few months, or however long it takes to make new lows on the SPY, then I will feel comfortable. As for AMC on Stock Tracker, 300,000 shares available to borrow at a most recent fee of 117%, 26,000 calls to 160,000 puts, and you can see that short exempts actually loaded up on AMC the more the volume picked up, right? From the 17th to the 18th, you had 700,000 and then 800,000 short exempt volume on AMC. As for GameStop, you saw the same thing. It almost tripled right here from 20 to almost 60 from the 17th to the 18th. We are losing on the option chain here. Overall, it's not looking good. They stumped the momentum as hard as possible for GameStop and AMC, and they did the same thing for Bed Bath & Beyond. 25,000 shares available to borrow, 51,000 calls expiring in the money compared to 140,000 puts. If market makers lost this week, all of these firms would have literally been obliterated by a gamma ramp on Bed Bath & Beyond with over 1 million call contracts. The most recent fee for borrowing shares against Bed Bath & Beyond was 211%, and the short exempts was 1.6 million recently. You went from 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, and 1 million short exempts day to day to day, back to back for Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, AMC has a stake in Hycroft Mining, so we'll bring this up real quick. Hycroft completes phase 1 drilling, and the results are pending for all of these explorations that they had, and they are moving on to phase 2, so I just figured I would bring this up as AMC does have a stake in Hycroft Mining. I think it actually was a decent investment for AMC to do so. However, their stock price is probably manipulated as well, more so than not. Now, the US has reached the debt ceiling exactly like Janet Yellen said on January 19th today. US national debt has reached an all-time high of 31.41 trillion. Yellen told Congress the debt issuance suspension period will begin on January 19th, 2023 and last till June 5th. So you have a decent period where, you know, the issuance of debt is not going to happen for a while, and this could drastically hurt certain institutions, certain funds, the economy as a whole, and benefit certain stocks, right? Short squeeze plays. Anybody who's going to be in trouble and who needs these loans, who needs this, you know, sense of I can use this money and pay it back at a further time, right? And you can see that it is something important, because you wouldn't want to live paycheck to paycheck and max out your credit card every single month. But if it's something you have to do, it's something you have to do. And you saw the same thing with the US government debt rising. We hit the ceiling, right? On that, US weekly job claims came in at 190,000 last week, estimated at 213,500. And JP Morgan now says interest rates will most likely rise above 5% because there is still a lot of underlying inflation, which would essentially just be way worse for the economy. And of course, crypto firm Genesis is finally preparing to file bankruptcy as soon as this week. Robinhood must face customers' lawsuit alleging it hid trading costs. And finally, to close out the video, I just want to disclose I'm still in Bed Bath & Beyond calls and AMC calls. I'm going to ride them out no matter what happens. However, I do think Bed Bath & Beyond, based off of the chart, is still validated with what we have drawn out, right? This flag pattern, this falling channel, it is still validated that you could have a potential move to the upside, and I'm still watching those exit levels. It's not dropping drastically. You have down 10% today, so SSR is triggered. Not that that means much, but essentially, I would call this play off, or at least, you know, you would see another cycle or a prolonged period throughout this play if Bed Bath & Beyond broke under $3. That is when I would consider this, okay, invalidated. You know, what I was expecting is invalidated. My chart setup's invalidated, and then we would move on from there. But essentially, right now, I still see all of these squeeze plays still in the book, and you don't know how funds are doing going forward because, again, you have that 3-day margin call period. We don't know who is margin called and who is actually in in trouble. You guys let me know in the comments if you got into GNS, and also if you're joining the Discord, because we have trading signals in there and 250 plus of the most amazing people that you can talk with on the daily. I'm also in there on the daily chatting with everybody. So if you guys want to do that, make sure to use the link down below and join Discord. Also, if you want up to 15 free stocks, it's free money. You can sell them and then jump into one of these short squeeze plays, potentially. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but using my link pin in the top of comments or in the description, you will get up to 15 free stocks by downloading Moomoo, opening an account on your phone or computer, and depositing any amount. It can literally be 1 penny from your bank account. And if you want that penny safe, your money will also be FDIC insured on there as well. So that is what I got for you guys for today. Hit that subscribe button, turn post notifications on. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.